Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. You all Orlando Brown not set in stone to get his lick back at Diddy for a really long time of paper, and he is at last coming clean about how Diddy supposedly treated him when he was simply a youngster. Purportedly, Diddy constrained Orlando into a few improper circumstances of a specific sort and passed on Orlando with enough injury to endure forever. And in the event that that is not terrible enough, Diddy likewise supposedly got Orlando snared on drugs, got him removed from the business, and after Ward supposedly painted Orlando and crazy when Orlando attempted to talk his reality and uncovered Diddy quite a while back. However, it seems as though Orlando isn't going to withdraw in light of the fact that he enjoys now taking benefit of the embarrassment encompassing Diddy in the recent weeks. To recount his side of the story, and you all, it sounds genuinely terrible. Orlando experienced a psychological episode and pummeled Diddy, blaming him for destroying his life as well as killing his vocal. He had a ton to say regarding Diddy, and you all will have a hard time believing the crazy things that he has needed to manage for over 15 years. Is Orlando truly arranging a Sudi variety? All that you must be in order, and you'll be ready to see it. It'll show itself directly before you understand what I'm talking about, however, only for me to be staying here and being like, no cuz man, individuals done lost their families, brother. Individuals done lost their children, and individuals duels, a ton of stuff didn't occur. Do you think there needs to be even more a light shed on Hollywood? Okay, you all, so the blossoms continue to come in for Cassie cuz she truly got this show on the road with Did, and every one of his trickeries cuz an ever-increasing number of individuals are as yet emerging to recount how Diddy truly is. It's been over 2 months presently since Cassie dropped her claim, and individuals are as yet emerging to oppose him. And listen, I simply realize there are much more stories that we actually haven't even caught wind of yet. Well, Orlando Brown is the furthest down the line individual to make some noise about his encounters with Diddy, and very much like different charges against him. It's not really the things he have said about Diddy are horrible, and I realize that we've heard such countless stories, yet you all, it's actually stunning at whatever point we hear individuals discuss their negative encounters with Diddy. However, before we get into Orlando and the S.A.ings he needs to say regarding Diddy, could we at any point, if it's not too much trouble, require a moment to discuss the mystic Sloan Bella and how she anticipated Diddy's destruction? Before Cassie even petitioned for her claim, she was one of the absolute first individuals to discuss how Diddy was going down this season, and she was so unambiguous about it that she even guaranteed that he would have been uncovered around the commemoration of Kim Dorman's passing. So her passing day was November 15th of 2018. However, I'm being shown November of 2023. I don't believe we're finished with this. I feel she's shaking her head yes before she gazes at me. Then she paused, and presently, she's shaking her head yes. I'm being shown that things are being set. She is showing me a trumpet. Individuals are standing straight up, no doubt you all. She likewise guaranteed that Diddy planned to get uncovered for ceremonial say of young fellows in the business. Well, a great deal of things that he said planned to happen worked out as expected, and presently it seems to be the piece of Diddy as saying young fellows is going to materialize too. Orlando is a very rare example of men who have emerged to guarantee that Diddy supposedly say them, and it's not hard to see the reason why, separated from the way that Diddy is quite possibly of the most influential man in the whole business that no one needs to cross. There's likewise this disgrace that accompanies being a male overcomer of say. However, it seems as though Orlando is relinquishing all the disgrace and being daring to shout out about the things that he purportedly did to him when he was a minor, including getting him connected to drugs. Supposedly, Orlando previously exploded in the business back in the last part of the 90s and the mid-2000s. And despite the fact that he showed up on 2 or 3 shows, his large break came when he handled the job of Eddie Thomas on That Is So Raven. He was no joking matter in those days, and he even had an extremely splendid profession in front of him. Yet things began to self-destruct for him after that. So Raven finished, we expected to see him on additional shows beyond Disney, yet that never happened. In light of the fact that it resembled his profession, only sort of tumbled off after that. So Raven, when his music vocation slowed down, he attempted to make a name in as a rapper. All things considered, however, his rap vocation never took off either, and things just ground to a halt for him. Yet it wasn't long after that that he began to cause problems, and he was consistently in the titles for his legitimate rec and never for his genuine profession. It began in 2007, not long after the show Fine-ish, when he got captured for drug ownership in Houston, Texas. Anyway, that was only the beginning of his lawful show in light of the fact that in 2011, He was additionally captured for a DUI, and it even went all the more easy from now on. It seemed as though things went from terrible to more terrible for him, since he would never avoid jail. The courts at last became ill and worn out on his way of behaving that an appointed authority requested him to be remanded in prison for a half-year, however. This didn't appear to have a very remarkable effect in light of the fact that in 2014, a sound spilled of Orlando threatening to unalive an obscure lady and her children. "You your girl, and everyone, mom, he just said he will kill my 3-year-old girl. Could you at any point arrive?" Yes, you don't hear this. You think I'm making this up? His reps promptly denied the charges, saying that the man in the sound was not him, but rather he later approached to concede that he was the one in the video. Yet the lady was a stalker, and he was compromising her justifiably so she would let him be. He was subsequently captured for conveying demise intimidations. However, no charges were followed against him since there simply wasn't sufficient proof to indict. As of now, it was obvious to every individual who was watching that Orlando was utilizing, and individuals had blended responses about it. While certain individuals felt like he had been damaged by the business since the beginning, more individuals felt like he was only a ruined, egotistical kid star who had driven his cash and popularity get to his head. Now he attempted to get back on a best way to live 2 or multiple times. However, circumstances simply didn't exactly pan out well for him on that end, since he lost the fight each time he figured out how to book a couple of gigs to a great extent. Yet he would never repeat the achievement that he got while he was on Disney. However, things kept on deteriorating for him legitimately, and in 2016 he had a public fight with his then sweetheart, and he put hands on her. He was captured and accused of DV as well as medication ownership. What's more, he returned to prison now when he got out. Plainly, he was battling for certain areas of strength for really, so his companions and notorieties at last chose to give him a genuinely necessary assistance, and they took him to recovery. At first, it appeared as though he was able to acknowledge their assistance and get perfect, yet that didn't keep going long. In light of the fact that he left the program after just a single week and looked at himself, there was no way around it, since it was anything but a court-requested recovery, and afterward, as a grown-up, he reserved the option to decide to remain or not, and he decided not to. Yet as time went on, became more and more clear that there were a larger number of things happening with him than simply his medication use, since he began to act sporadic and open things. Things got significantly stranger when he went on Dr. Phil and professed to be Michael Jackson's child. He even went above and beyond and made a wide range of wild cases discussing how he was hitched and had 4 children, yet he didn't have a clue about their names. He likewise guaranteed that he didn't see his children that frequently, yet he saw them all the time. Earthy-colored, sovereign Michael Jackson Jr. My dad was Michael Jackson. Your dad was Michael Jackson. The number of kids that do you have, very much a nibbled, yet 4 that I am aware of, no doubt, certainly anticipating, see them. So the way in which old are your youngsters? My children are 2, 1 is 5, and 1 is what really 11, and the most established is like 16 to 18. K16 or 18, definitely 1, 2, watching in that was so miserable way, since how would you go from being a star on one of Disney's greatest shows at any point to that was extremely terrible, and Orlando's medication use had. It's been an intriguing issue about how perilous the business can be for small kids, while Orlando has at long last begun taking a stand in opposition to what truly befell him, and for reasons unknown. It has less to do with them getting into the business quite early in life, and more to do with how he was supposedly exploited by more seasoned individuals in the business. Now I realize that you all have found out about wiped out things that occur with these channels, since there have been bits of gossip about kid stars being made use of, and I could go on and on all day about Dan Scheider and the things that he affirmed to have done to small children at Nickelodeon. Yet Orlando's case is by all accounts far more detestable on the grounds that purportedly he was still 8 even subsequent to leaving the Disney station. Recall the mystic Bella Sloan and how she said that Diddy was supposedly saying young men also collecting their spirits. Well, she was right on the bat for this, in light of the fact that as per Orlando, Diddy constrained him into cozy experiences. You Diddy, you gave me the K, gave me the Kimu, no doubt. I mean, you gave me the I love it, At the time, individuals didn't completely accept that Orlando, and they charged him of making things up. Certain individuals even ventured to consider him a crackhead who was lying and attempting to involve Diddy's name for clout, and that he was lying. Obviously, this happened way before we understood what we know now about the charges on Diddy, and fans simply didn't buy his accounts. However, don't get me wrong, hypotheses of Diddy were being gay and on the download, yet there weren't any open say claims presently. In that equivalent meeting, he uncovered that he had a ton to say regarding the business, yet he couldn't, on the grounds that a few extremely influential individuals could fly off the handle. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.